All right, thank you. Like to call the meeting to order, our April 7th meeting, and do the roll call, please, Chris.
Yes. Deanna Carlson,
Here.
Todd Lavieri,
Here.
Michael Chen, Chris Labrise is here, Victor Alvarez,
Here.
Maria Weingarten, Robert Hamill,
Here.
James Yao,
Here.
Nicholas Matrakis, Jan Schaefer,
Here.
Steve Doka,
Not coming.
Alan Bedaines. All right, we need to sit the seat, Jan,
Yes.
for almost anybody
Pick
and everybody.
next.
Right, you
When
can't
do-
schedule
or do,
meetings on break week.
Do you think Michael's coming? I thought he was coming. I haven't heard that he wasn't. Pick anybody.
Don't remember.
Mike? I
For
would-
Nick, you're saying? Okay,
Yeah, maybe for Nick.
okay.
Because Nick's not coming, we're sure?
Motion
Okay.
to approve seating Jan for Nick.
So moved.
Second, Bob, all in favor? Aye, opposed? Oh, I don't see Maria, though. I need to see her for voting. Okay, okay.
Okay, so we can't do
Jan,
that.
you're in. Where, yeah.
Yeah, we're
Oh, for
quorum
sure,
here
for sure,
already,
for
yeah.
sure. Yeah, and we have,
So now we definitely have a quorum. 1, 2, 3,
yes, don't forget, just
4,
for
5,
selectmen.
6, 7, that's right.
I only break ties.
You
Do
only
you not
get,
count for
she doesn't-
quorum?
No, she doesn't count
I
for
want
quorum.
official legal opinion on that. Maybe we could adjust that in the charter committee, Tucker.
Yeah, just for I just break ties.
That's beyond their capability. to
Okay,
understand.
Don't
all right,
even-
moving on. I don't even know why I said that. That's
Please.
not helpful or productive in any way. Okay, thank you. So, motion to approve our minutes from both the third and the,
We don't have a quorum.
yes, you do.
We have 6.
You have 8,
There's
you only
nine.
need 5.
Yeah.
8, you have
8
8 members
One over.
and you need 5 for a quorum.
1, 2, 3,
Oh,
4,
yes,
5,
that's right.
6.
Sorry.
It's okay.
You're absolutely right.
Okay, motion to approve the minutes for the meetings, both March 3rd and March 5th. Or any changes or edits if someone has any. If not, I need a motion.
I move to approve both minutes.
All right, Victor, second, please. Second, Jen, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. So moved. Okay, Scott, so please join us up here. Make sure the mic is on. One of them looks like it. And why don't you introduce what you're here for? And we do need to vote on this, just to make the process clear. After Scott explains what we're looking, the transfer that they're looking to do, we vote on it, yes or no, up or down, we'll see. And then it goes to the town council, I believe, in their next meeting. Okay, that's the process. So,
And the Board of Selectmen already voted
yes, thank you. Okay, when did you vote on this?
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, you approved it to get it here. Okay, over to you, Scott. Thank you.
Scott Hobbs, Chairman of the Affordable Housing Trust, Affordable Housing Authority of New Canaan. There's too many, too many organizations all that sound the same. So we're in front of you today, just asking to draw funds down from the Affordable Housing Trust. I guess it's trust. Is it trust or fund?
This says the Housing Trust Fund.
Trust fund.
The purposes for the drawdown are for doing parking lot repair over at Millport and also for installing security systems. As you all still recall somewhat, Affordable Housing or Housing Authority dipped deep into our reserves in order to help purchase Riverwood. And we knew that, of course, that would leave us a little bit short coming up on some of our required maintenance improvements on the project. This is one of those that again, we deferred in order to make sure that Riverwood could happen. So the funds are available inside of the trust, and we're coming in front of you guys to ask for permission to use those for those purposes.
It's for paving, security, and HVAC or not HVAC?
Forget he's
Yes.
Yes.
HVAC equipment.
Okay, so it's for those 3 things and it's all Millport.
Correct.
None of it's for Riverwood. Not that it matters, I'm just asking. Okay.
all for Riverwood and none for Canaan Parish or
Okay.
all for Millport, none for Riverwood, none for Canaan Parish.
Do you want to give them a refresher on how that trust fund is?
So the trust fund was created by Laszlo way back in the 90s. It's allowed by statute that towns can create those. There's a quirk inside of this to be used for generally for housing, affordable housing projects. there was a quirk in it that we discovered during Riverwood that you actually can't use it to buy existing apartments and turn them into affordable. You can do almost anything else with it for affordable housing, especially maintenance, upkeep, acquiring land, building, all of those things can happen. Only thing you can't do is buy existing units for it. So it does exist there in order to help towns go ahead and find a way to, it's not unusual that many affordable housing projects are very borderline fiscally, and Millport is one of those that we're making money, we're making profits, we'd actually built some things up. Of course, obviously, we use the funds for. Other projects such as Canaan Parish are actually, they're doing fine, and thanks to Section 8 vouchers, and Riverwood is market. And once we caught up we had a drop in, we had an increase in vacancy right around the transition, but we're back up to around 100% at Riverwood. So we're again profitable there, which is good because we have some maintenance to continue doing there.
And you added the fund for basically this exact purpose, for deferred maintenance. This is a transfer, just so everybody knows. We're not paying this.
So how is the fund funded?
I believe it's 1% of all construction projects. 0.5% or 1%?
At building permits, it's 1%, I think.
1% of all building permits have the affordable housing fee tacked on.
Right.
And it was great that Laszlo thought of doing that. And we're one of the few community. I think a couple more have copied us at this point, but it is very difficult to start projects. Once you actually have a project that's viable, that's been sort of, that you have land, that you've actually set up a plan and have some rough drawings and things, then you can finance it. Getting there is tricky. We should continue to rebuild our fund over the next, it continues to grow by anywhere from like $300,000 to $700,000 a year.
Because building permits are very cyclical, but our maintenance is probably pretty regular. So what happens if we deplete the fund? Is it just we allocate money in the budget process, or?
Well, most of these were pretty big projects that we needed to take care of. And and so day-to-day maintenance, every normal maintenance we take care of inside of the funding, and the money's now there. And again, we're now on stable footing. And again, we'd actually built up funds, but then we utilized them. So in theory, they will be self-sustaining, if not a little bit contributory. Canaan Parish should be contributory, and eventually Riverwood should be contributory toward actually building up affordable housing funds outside of the trust. If another project were to come along, such as Riverwood, Housing Authority, we do have, anybody can come before the town boards and ask for more money, and that's absolutely what would happen. So if we had a great opportunity or we had to do something, we would absolutely go through the town approval processes and ask for additional funds if the trust and the Housing Authority did not have enough.
So this is really just a backstop sort of across the portfolio, and then if they're not self-sustaining, you can step in.
Correct.
It's been kind of a philosophy in the town when you think about it. We have the
Good
fund for the
governance.
pool, fund for the sewer. I mean, we're always having a deferred maintenance fund, and when we need it, we have. So we don't have to hit everybody. It's a good
And
policy.
again, at least it allows for this, while it will not finance a project independently, it allows for it to become real. So you don't have to come in and say, well, I need 100,000 now. and-
Deny or something. Yeah, that's right. That's a good point.
So it does make it more efficient.
Other questions for Scott? Again, it's a transfer from that fund for these purposes. And
Maybe it's in the tablet, but I was having technical difficulties today. What and how big is the fund right now, and how much we take?
I think,
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
So. And how long did it take us to build it up to 731?
probably just over, I think the last time we came was a year and a half.
Yeah, it was 704 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And,
we took money out, you remember, for Riverwood,
Right.
so that.
Yes, there was a
that-
big chunk that came out.
And that's only a couple of years. So you built it up in 2 years,
Yeah,
Probably about 18 months.
18 months.
no, that's good. Okay.
So you can generate a little bit of a
Yeah.
cushion in when you need it. You got it.
Okay.
How about the security cameras? So, what's the shelf life of a security camera? I would imagine it depends on what the quality of the camera.
It probably does. I mean, it being in construction and having a lot of the stuff, the hardware and software tend to last for a long time. Improvements continually come along that make it sort of functionally obsolete. But if you've ever been in like a 7-Eleven or something, I mean, some of those cameras are 50 years old and still record to VCR. So, I mean, the cameras themselves should last for a long time. And same with the backup. Question would really be, I'm sure that some of them will break, some of the stuff will go bad, but a lot of it will be, my successor will probably be asking about, look, we now have the special heat temperature signature recognition thing that can identify everybody, and we'll be asking for that sort of an improvement. But that's probably, hopefully, my successor, not me, will have to worry about what happens afterwards. Which also means I'm planning on being here for a while.
That's a good thing, Scott.
Bond document, so I
That's a
can't
good-
There you
retire.
go.
Are you just replacing the existing cameras or are you adding more?
We're adding. We had very, 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 I mean, I don't think we had any cameras when we first started the project, and we've slowly added a couple. And it makes things so much easier in a multifamily development, that when someone's car gets hit, when somebody leaves trash, when there's something, a mess left in the stairway, there's something happens to a carpet, as opposed to us going, nobody did it again, it just magically happened. Then you end up having some surveillance there. And then once people know there's surveillance, amazingly, a lot less stuff happens. So adding the cameras definitely makes the quality of life much better and easier on management, and makes our property hopefully last longer.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it also stops people who are breaking the rules from breaking the rules.
Because I mean, so many of the tenants are just such great, amazing people who are doing, they're pushing hard and trying to live the best life they can. And as with any group of people, there's a couple of people who don't have that same philosophy. And those few people can really, take it out on the vast majority of folks.
Other questions? Okay, motion to approve the transfer of $560,000 from the Affordable Housing Trust Fund for capital projects. Bob, second?
Second.
Chris, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Is Maria on? Do we know? Okay. All right. Okay. So moved. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks for having such a easy thing to process and understand.
When I come in with my own source of money, even makes it even.
Yeah, sure does. We like that.
It's even better.
Yeah. no,
It's even better.
we-
It's a new best practice.
Yes, so we want in the future.
Our own money.
Is Ann joining or no?
Supposedly.
Okay. No, I don't have anybody up here. It's driving me crazy.
I'm on.
Oh, there you are.
Ryan, how you doing? I'm on. Ryan's gonna cover it. and I'll
Couldn't see because the camera wasn't set up to see people that were online. How are you?
Good, thank you. Good.
Okay, over to you, Ann and Ryan. You want Ryan to drive?
Yeah, Ryan will drive.
Okay, you got it.
All right, everybody. Financials through March. Are at revenue 176.3 million, which is 100.6% of our budget, about $1 million over budget right now, with 3 months left to go in the year. Vast majority of that has already come in, tax revenues, but we're doing well. Current tax collections, 165.5 million, 6.2 million over last year, and 100.9% of the budget for fiscal 26. Prior year tax collections, 372,000, 124.1% of the budget, a little bit less than last year. We know we had some big sales last year that bumped that number up, but 124.1% of this year's budget. Building permits at 691,000. It's a little bit, again, less than last year because we know we had some big developments in late 2024 that bumped those numbers up, but we're at 76.8% of the budget for this year. So still on track. Anything at 75% or higher is basically, if it's linear, we know we're in pretty good shape. Conveyance fees are 1.6 million with a budget of 1.6 million. So we're 101.5% of our budget. Parking permits are 824,000, which is 89.7% of the budget for this year. Interest on investments so far at this point are 1.8 million, which is 97.7% of the budget. Just under 1.8, I should rounding. But we're very close to being on budget there for our annual budget right there.
Well, just on that, what's roughly, this is 75. So 1.35 would be the prorated amount for 9 months. That's pretty significant improvement. And I assume we're running, I don't know, I'll ask Bob. I mean, I assume we're running more or less at the rate now that we have been for the last few months.
Yeah,
In fact,
no,
rates might even be a
stable.
little higher.
We do. We also have another 100,000 that hasn't booked yet because they're from our Janney and UBS investments. They don't come in for another week or so. So that's another 100,000 plus for March.
I do have a chart that kind of shows the month by month on this in page 7 of that packet, if that's interesting. So this one is pretty linear.
So we'll be way ahead of budget on this.
Yes, it
We
looks that way.
expect to.
Good thing.
Next, if we're okay to move on.
I like to linger on the good news, you know, we like to move past the bad news, but the good news we can hang on for a hot second. Okay, just kidding.
Tipping fees, transfer station, we're at 208,000 for the year, 50% of the budget. We know that that's consistently been under for the year. We talked about that for the past several months. So no real changes there. I'll let you know if anything changes, but that looks pretty linear as well in terms of month by month revenues. Board of Ed excess cost grant, we got half of that this last month, so we're at 512,000 for the year, 55.9% of the budget. There's another one either this month or next month that will get another portion of that.
Okay.
All other revenues are 4.8 million for the year, which is 110.2% of the estimated budget. Less than last year, 1.9 million less than last year, but that's primarily timing. There's some bond premium that was a higher number last year than this year, things like that. And then I have 6 items that are 6 items that are basically all of that. We have member equities at 64,000 over last year. State grants, 112,000 over last year.
What is member equity?
Member equity, we've talked about this a couple of times and I'm good at it now. It's basically when the insurance company has excess profit, they return some of that to their members. That's what that is.
A office from last year, like $114,000 last
Should we
year.
cash it?
Come look.
Miscellaneous income, we've got 73,000 over last year. There's an Eversource rebate that's in that line. That's why that's so big. And then a couple of negatives. We have operating transfers in 1.6 million reduced from last year. Lien fees and interest reduced 224,000 from last year. And then unrealized gain or loss 325,000 less than last year. So those are the 6 items that make up the vast bulk of that difference. But again, we're over revenue, over budget for revenue in that line.
You have a projection for the year?
I'd say probably
A month early.
0.5 to 2.
Say again, Ian?
I'm thinking we'll probably get closer to 2.
2 million over?
Yep.
Yeah. I'll take the over on that over.
Okay.
That's great.
So that's revenue. Overall expenses year to date, 125.2 million, which is 69.2% of the budget number for the year. Again, anything under 75% is a linear number, is for the good. So that's where we're at.
Close the
for
books
our-
now.
This is our light.
Anything that stands out on the expenses? I was trying to, your graph, I love all your analysis. I have to say, I don't love the table in the lower right, the bar graph that is by department, because I don't know what any of them mean. You may know those numbers. I have to go back and look.
Absolutely true.
But it's at least you can see it. But anything that you're concerned about on the expense side?
No, not right now. We're good.
Okay. Okay. Any questions, team, on anything? Revs, expenses? No rush.
Major storm event.
Hmm.
So we expended 132,000 and we budgeted nothing?
That was in last year. I think that was that August flood thing.
We don't do that, remember?
We
that's-
don't budget, for that was a storm for FEMA that we had to track.
31. That's okay. It's okay.
Mhm.
He's got a printed copy for you if you want to look at something a little bigger. That's what that is.
Actually,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yep,
That's true.
yep.
Yeah, that answers my question. Thank you.
We just decided to go with contingency for that. It's what the contingency's for. It's what, right? We've never really,
Mhm.
tiling and things like that.
Exactly. Okay. Okay.
All right, if we're okay there, I have some line items and transfers.
Yeah, why don't we do that? Sure.
Pages of items under 10,000 to review, so you can take a look at that. Nothing really jumping out at me, just to bring up.
Any questions on those on those reviews, team? Pretty straightforward.
No, they look fine. to
You
me.
good? Victor, you good? Bob and Jane?
4 for approval. So we can go through those one at a time. I have a $31,049.70 request to transfer out of contingency into the non-departmental charter revision budget. The line items are there: part-time salary, social security, printing and binding, advertising, postage, and miscellaneous. I also put in the sort of memo that we got to identify those numbers. So there's a few pages at the end of the little packet that identifies the 26 expenses that we're talking about now, and the 27 expenses that I put into the 27.
Why don't you step through them and then we can,
Sure.
I think
31.
we can vote on all of them at once, right? Tucker, we can do that in one vote. So let's just, any questions on that first group?
I'm not sure, that salaries, is that like part of someone who's already here you've allocated, or is it totally new person that's working part-time?
It's a part-time person that's basically note-taking and taking the minutes and things like that.
No, I mean, is it like some of the work of someone who was already here and you just,
No, it's
or
a-
it's completely new person?
Temporary?
It's a temporary person that
Temporary,
they
okay.
bring in for this kind of thing. She, basically, it's just she's keeping all the minutes.
Is this it? Will this be
Charter
the,
revision.
will this be the
No.
full,
They're
So-
still working.
For
just for April?
the request for fiscal 26.
Yeah, so we end in
June.
June, and there's still gonna be work that happens in the next fiscal year.
With a
for
couple,
the-
with a ballot. Okay, right?
Yeah.
Nope, right. Okay, okay.
So that's on that memo as well, if you want to take a look at that. But I did put
Yeah.
that in the 27 budget, which there's a line right at the top of the expenses.
Okay.
All right, the next transfer I have is general fund. We're moving some funds around for the actual usage that we anticipate for the rest of the year for fuel oil. And we're taking some from contingency to cover. So to explain, this looks a little confusing. I realize now that I'm looking at it. We're decreasing 3,000 or so from the highway budget. We're decreasing about 39,000 from the town buildings budget. And we're taking 12,546.40 from contingency. We're putting that into police, fire, EMS, parks, nature center, and Waveney Park buildings. So that's, I could have organized that a little bit better.
Was there something that the town buildings did to save oil?
They budget high for that department, and
They do.
it's like there was higher expenses in the other departments. It was cold winter. That's what Bill's telling me, as if we didn't all experience the cold winter. So higher than anticipated fuel expenses, but he budgets high in his department.
Okay.
It's difficult to figure out what you're gonna be spending on
Yeah.
energy costs. I mean, it's, you know,
And we had to fit, remember at last year's budget, we kept, we didn't increase it. Bill wanted to increase about another 50, but we said let contingency pick up if we had to take on that additional cost, which we're just seeing an increase right now of about 12,000 for the rest of the year instead of the 50.
Okay.
I'll go in order, but the fourth one down is basically the same thing, just in the sewer fund. But the third one, so we have a sewer fund contingency request to go into property repair and maintenance, 17,600. That's due to an OSHA inspection found that they need a safety guard. So that's what that's for. So they need to pull from contingency to put that safety item into place.
Okay,
Last one, again, sewer contingency, increase fuel costs for the sewer department, and it's gonna pull from that fund, so 17,000 from contingency to the fuel line, fuel oil line in the sewer department.
any questions on any of those transfers? Jan, you good? Bob, James? Okay, then I need a motion. We're just motion to approve.
So moved.
Second? James, all in favor? Aye,
Aye.
opposed? So moved.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Are you staying for
And, sure.
the bond authorization? Well, I think it's Tiger and Ann, right, mostly? You there, Tiger?
It's just,
Oh,
Here.
I thought, it was on.
no, he doesn't.
I'm on.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant. Okay. Well, so Ann, I just want to make sure I've got what we're going to do correct here. So we've approved projects in our budget. This is a process to actually approve the bond authorizations of 12 projects, 15 projects that total $16.1 million-ish. And then we will ask you to go through each one to remind everybody what they were.
Okay.
I think we probably need that. And then I'd like to vote all of them at once, not do 15 votes. So if everybody's okay with that, we'll do that. If for some reason there's an exception or something, we can, I guess, take that out. But let's go through.
Okay.
Now,
I added up 16,141,488, but I don't.
it's not in the resolution.
Yeah, no, it's not. We're doing that. We're doing the individuals. I guess your point is you want to have a sum of those.
Yeah, I think we need to put it in, amend the resolution to say that, we need to read it in, what it is we're approving.
I think we're going to approve 15.
Otherwise, we're gonna go
We're
through
gonna
them
approve
one by
right here,
one.
right here.
So
You got it.
Tucker,
No, no, I know
Yeah.
that. but-
Tucker, can we, as a process, because this is in the packets? Okay, so
We go through each one, if they were posted, you all, if you all just vote to approve the resolution.
Yeah,
as they were.
it's in the packets and that will, because it's a public packet that anybody from the public can read.
This one here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that
if
is,
we
on-
approve the public packet, but for the record, what,
Or you can approve the agenda as the bonds are written in the agenda.
resolution authorizing, no, because if we read all this into the record, it's gonna take.
No,
forever,
we're not
right?
doing that. We don't
So
need,
we
we don't
wanna
need to
do
do
that.
that.
But we should, when we pass the resolution saying that, approve the packet with an aggregate total of X. So somebody give me that aggregate total of X, please, and we can then do it this
So
way.
let's go through them. Maybe, who's going to present them? Ann? Are you
Yeah, I
going-
can do.
Ann and Tiger? And then Ryan, if you wouldn't mind in the meantime, add them all up. I've got 16
numbers.
million. Yeah, okay.
41,488.
That's what I have. Okay.
Okay, the number, please?
141,488.
Okay, so that's what we'll vote on after we hear the reading of this.
Very good.
Okay.
Okay. Over to you, Ann.
Okay, so our first one is for $50,000 from the IT department. They're asking for their annual ask for their desktop and hardware server and software, their WAN equipment, network equipment, and mainly it's their server, but then there's a lot of hardware. So that's the first one at 50,000. The second one is police station for $192,000. That's the acquisition of some tasers and related equipment, along with mobile data terminals and some portable radios put into that project. The third one, we have $1,615,000. It's for a new pumper truck, a rescue and equipment pumper truck for the fire department and any related equipment that goes along with that pumper truck. The next one is the ambulance corps. It's $85,000. That's for the acquisition of a new ambulance and any related equipment for that as well. Missing any? Next one we have is for $78,660. It's the hardware and the software for the Ross's
Communication.
department, the emergency management project that he has. If you remember, it was running at about 170,000 a year. He's doing something different with a new vendor, and he needs the hardware and software for that. It's 78,660. The next one is 4,795,904. This, I'll push it over to Tiger. We have 6 different projects that are under this $4 million. The majority of it is paving, but Tiger can go into the details of the other 5.
So this is, the majority is for our pavement management program. Then we have some ADA improvements, specifically over at the water tower turf fields, the sidewalk there. We have sidewalk improvements, some work on our bridges that are under 20 feet that there's a classification under 20, over 20, over 20 classifies for a certain set of grants from the state. These do not. Some money for traffic signal replacement, the engineering thereof, and then signage and striping.
Okay.
It's all coming back to us from February
Yeah.
when you said striping.
DPW. Next one is for DPW Highway for 684,000 even. There's a bunch of different equipment they're buying: 2 dump trucks, sander, a lowboy dump truck, a skid. I don't know what this one, skid steer with. Thank you, Tiger, with accessories, tag-along trailer, and a garage fuel dispensing system. On top of that, there's some road striping and related fees for that, and that's for the highway department. Next department is the town buildings, looking for $2,245,000. There are quite a number of projects related to this. It's the town hall repair and upgrades, Waveney House exterior doors, Waveney House abatement, Waveney Park Powerhouse Theater, Nature Center Education Building, and the old incinerator building demo, the engineering on that. And Tiger could go into any more details for some of those projects.
You have any questions, Todd? Or are you okay?
No, I'm good.
You're good? Okay.
You all approved
Yeah,
them
we
through the
already
budget
approved
process.
this.
Prove them all, right.
But just, it's great to get reminded. Thank you. No
Actually,
worries.
I have a question. Are all of these items related to the 25-26 budget, or were any of these approved in an earlier budget?
We're doing
These are-
26, 27.
7, your 5-year capital plan for 27.
This is for the,
okay.
this is what we already covered in February, but actually it's a good reminder. You went through the stuff that had been previously approved but not spent, and we've already rationalized that on some of these projects like paving and,
Correct.
striping. Remember, we did that.
Mhm.
So, yeah, this is all for 26, 27.
The next one is DPW Parks, $945,000. There's quite a number of projects on this one. Field improvement, irrigation upgrades, fence and backstop replacements, clay infield replacement with backstop, vehicle with accessories, utility carts, artificial field groomer sweeper, and miscellaneous equipment attachments, and a snow plow tractor mount. And that's $945,000 for parks. The next one is the $1 million towards the library. This is, we're calling it a grant because it's going towards the library, just like the original one that went for it. It's in relation to the old building located in the town for the design, acquisition, construction, installation costs. And this will be a grant of $1 million.
Well, remember, this was to allow them to pursue a grant, and they couldn't do it without this commitment.
Commitments.
But
Yeah.
if there's no project, this doesn't get spent.
Correct. It
Just
doesn't
to
get
start-
bonded until.
Doesn't get bonded till.
Doesn't-
there's a deal.
Yes, correct.
Yes, very important. And everybody knows that, but just as a
Well,
reminder.
Is that in here?
Yes, because we don't bond, but, so you
It-
have to give the resolution, we have to
I
approve
understand
it.
that, but is it in here that,
Yes. We don't bond it until we spend it, Chris. All bonding happens after it's been expended.
After.
okay,
Next is Recreation, $80,000 for a new audio system for Waveney House and new technology equipment for Lapham Center. And that's $80,000. The next one we have is for schools. That's $2,905,150, and there's quite a number of their projects. Board of Education Technology, elementary 5-year air balancing, replace carpet mediate center abatement, rubber surfacing, replace asphalt walkways, playground new rubber surface, parking lot new asphalt, speed tables, media cafe blinds replacement, maintenance vehicle replacement, 3 sped vehicles replacement, masonry repairs and repointing, 2 main skylight improvements, acoustic shells, hallway ramp replacement, engineering for the high school redesign elective classroom spaces, and engineering services district-wide. Again, that was $2,905,105. And then we're on to sewer. So we have $1,150,000 in terms of some sewer projects. The INI, which is the inflow and infiltration sewer investigation, sewer remediation, sewer relining, Polymar System 2, the pump station control panel replacement, and any related expenses. And Tiger can address any questions for those projects.
I think we're okay.
We're good.
Okay.
We also have $225,000 grant for the Housing Authority that's going against some current projects that are in place at the moment. And that was $225,000 that we had. I have one more left. We have for the parking department, $90,774,000. It's for the acquisition of parking pay machines for Main Street and other locations in town. Okay, that was the last one.
Any questions? Any other questions, I should say? Well done. Yeah, that's a great summary. Thanks for doing that. And obviously all the other detail.
Okay, so we need to take a vote?
I think so.
All right,
No,
so
further
I'll
questions? Yeah.
read this in. Resolution authorizing an appropriation of $16,141,488 to fund the projects in the public packet and the financing of said appropriation by the issuance of general obligation bonds of the town and notes in anticipation of such bonds in an amount not to exceed $16,141,488.
Motion to approve. Bob, thank you. Second? Victor, thank you. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, none? So moved. Thanks, Tiger.
Thank you.
San. Okay, that is our April meeting. I know, James.
Wowie
I know,
zowie.
I know. I know, James. James was looking for more, but in May, on the
May 12,
May 12th.
June 9.
Both times?
Yes, because they have to come present the.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Sounds good. We will have the town council votes on the budget next Tuesday. Then we'll have it. We'll clean up whatever else we need to do to get ready for our June vote, right? Mill rate and everything else. I did see that at least preliminarily before I forget how the budget process works in Greenwich, but the BET approved, the equivalent of the Board of Finance, a 5.4% increase in their spending. It's a big number. And they learned that they have $1.6 billion in deferred maintenance on their 10-year capital plan, 1.6 billion Greenwich. So I couldn't sleep at night.
They don't amortize their.
They don't, well, they do now take debt, but they've kicked the can.
Yeah.
And they ran everything out of operating. And then, but they didn't do the maintenance. Incredible.
And then they have to go get this approved by RTM.
Yep. Maybe that's where it's going next.
Yeah.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
right. There you go. All right. Well, anyway, Ryan's put together some benchmarks and comparisons. It's a little early. We still don't have every other town. They're not finished with their processes. Neither are we, by the way. So, yeah, so we'll have that. But I think our increase will be one of the lower ones for our comparative towns. Maybe not the lowest, but should be one of the lower ones. So we'll see where we end up. Okay, any other items other than that? Motion to adjourn. Nobody wants to adjourn?
Everybody wants to stay?
James, second? Second, Victor. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, none. Thank you, everyone.